Libra scales, here's your reading for December 2017. Remember, guys, that this is a general reading. So all of the messages will not completely resonate with your unique situation, nor are they entirely meant to. The energies and messages here can either be coming directly from you, or they can be happening to you from an outside source or from another person, for instance. So take what applies and leave what doesn't, okay? If you'd like to book a personal reading, go ahead and check the description box with the link there for information upon how to obtain one. All right, guys, let's go ahead and bless the decks, and then we'll get started. Beloved God, I open all channels of light, north, south, east, and west. Guardian angels of the four directions, my counsels who serve the law of one, holy pure ones, anchor this space now in your divine consecration to provide Libra the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks, and please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay every single message as they are meant and or intended to be. Okay, Libra, coming to the reading with the Page of Swords reversed here. Libra scales. Speaking of scales, Libra, December 2017, I feel is a month for you where the scales are balancing, but they're balancing in a very unique way. I'm hearing esoteric way. The scales, okay, it's weird. The scales are going to balance by being unbalanced, and they're going to find a balance. It's very strange, the energy I'm picking up here. So at the heart of the matter here, we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed, the Two of Swords upright, and then the Eight of Swords reversed. The Two of Swords is representative of Libra. So you guys came into the reading pretty much, in a sense, right in the center. When I see this little combo here, Libra, I feel as though it was a decision that needed to be, a decision that needed to be made. This decision, Libra, it had to do with a lot of different aspects, I feel. But the main two that I can kind of pinpoint, or what I'm feeling here, Libra, is you initially wanted to be closed off, or I feel like you've been closed off for a while. Just kind of tending to your own needs, not necessarily in a selfish way, just kind of, putting those two swords up and just saying, it is what it is. Just going with the flow in a sense, I feel. But that was not working for you over time, and I feel as though, Libra, a decision was made, or is about to be made, or needs to be made, Libra, where, for the greater good and for the greater cause. This is a time where you must make a certain decision, Libra, where you're going to take the blindfold off, and you're going to have to make a decision in terms of, do you want to free yourself? Yes, of course. But at the same time, Libra, do you want to maybe, the Nine of Pentacles reversed here, kind of lose your pride a little bit? Or also, I feel, Libra, yes, lose your pride, but it's more of a positive sense, Libra. Also, possibly maybe your reputation as well. But I don't feel it's like a tower moment here with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Like it's going to be completely debilitating, or it's going to change the entire game here. I mean, yes, for sure, it's going to change the game. But I just don't feel like this is an extremely detrimental thing. You understand? I feel as though, in order to free yourself, Libra, from whatever constraints that you feel you were under or are under, Libra, we have to admit certain things to ourselves, and we have to really come to terms with asking ourselves, what are we doing? What are we putting out? How are we making ourselves feel like the Two of Swords, being at an impasse, or cutting people out of your life, or choosing to kind of just, it's like, you know, you're closed off. It's just, you don't want anyone to come through. You are kind of standing at the fork in the road, and it's just like you're kind of like, I don't want to take either path. So I'm just going to sit right here, and, you know, that's kind of where I feel you've been. But like, I'm going back to my main idea. I feel, Libra, that this month, December, you're going to make the right decision, or you have made the right decision so far. You did free yourself, Libra, or you're attempting to. But when it comes to freeing ourselves as something that's debilitating, or when it comes to freeing ourselves as something that no longer serves us, there's something we must leave behind. And maybe possibly, Libra, that's your reputation, maybe a little bit of it, an aspect of it. I feel like there's a lot of aspects in the Nine of Pentacles reverse in terms of this spread here. Maybe possibly losing some of, like I said, some of your reputation, some of your pride as well, some of your... Also, Libra, I'm picking up admitting some of the shameful acts. My ears ringing right now, guys. Spirit is here with me. Yeah. Wow. It's also, Libra, letting go of nonsensical things. Letting go of nonsensical reputation, nonsensical addition of reputation that we feel, we may say, oh, that's one of my morals or one of my ethics, and it can be, and I'm not going to deny that. But sometimes, Libra, we can get caught up in our own, in our own mess sometimes, or in our own doings. And maybe you have put yourself in the Eight of Swords a little bit. And now it's time to realize, and look, there's two blindfolds here, but the card's in reverse. The Eight of Swords, at least. I feel as though that's taking it off, the blindfold off. In order to free yourself, Libra, you have to admit certain things, and you have to... Let's just put it this way, Libra. Whenever we move forward, we can't take everyone with us and everything with us. So therefore, we must leave the sordid behind. And I feel as though, Libra, that's what's going on for you this month. And it's not a bad thing. I feel like it's going to be so healing for you. And it's going to take some adjustment. Absolutely. But it's going to be better for you, Libra. You're starting to come to the realization that, things aren't always as they appear to be. Everything that's shiny isn't gold, And sometimes sticking to our guns, it's... the bullets don't fit sometimes within the gun, It's not the right magazine. It just doesn't work sometimes. And it's okay, Libra. We all make mistakes. We all get into the Eight of Swords moment. It happens. It happens to the best of us. And sometimes we have to let things go. But it's going to be great. I feel it's going to be great. I feel like this is the beginning of a successful venture, Libra. I feel like this is the beginning of... I feel as though, Libra, what I'm picking up right now is this is the beginning of a new life, of turning over a new leaf. Because sometimes we have to kind of come down from our own pedestal sometimes and say, you know what, like, screw the pride, screw what keeps me in the Eight of Swords moment. Yeah, it may intermittently be okay, or it may make you feel good in terms of, like, sticking to what your convictions are. But convictions tend to change, Libra, throughout the course of your life, throughout the course of everyone's life. You could maybe be dealing with another Libra, or maybe possibly a Virgo. Interesting, Libra. Let's see. The Emperor reversed. The Magician upright. Oh, wow, okay. The Seven of Pentacles upright. The Queen of Wands reversed. Okay, let's see. Well, Libra, this is very interesting energy here with the Magician and the Emperor. I want to say, Libra, that I'm kind of going back to the idea of sometimes we have to let go. We have to let go of what we rule over. You could be dealing with an Aries possibly, or a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But coming back to here, I feel, Libra, like sometimes we reign over our own, our own majesty in a sense. I mean, I'm kind of having a little bit of trouble just explaining what I want to say, but I feel like maybe what I'm feeling right now, Libra, in terms of having a little bit of trouble describing what I want to really say and not tripping over my words right now, I feel like maybe that's how you feel right now. But we have to trip over something to realize that it's in our way. And when we realize that which is in our way, we can then remove it. Sometimes, Libra, we have to let go. And sometimes we rule or reign over certain areas of life that in turn ends up being counterproductive. It ends up being something of debilitation. It ends up being something of hurt. We end up hurting ourselves in the long run. And then if we're responsible for children, we're responsible for a household, we're responsible for the things that come with a family dynamics, or with a family dynamic, or that comes with ruling or reigning over an empire, building the empire. But if the emperor is damaged, or is emotionally damaged, or isn't emotionally together, or isn't emotionally sound in his decisions or her decisions, we can't make the right ones. We are led astray by our own thoughts and our own devices. And I feel as though that's why the Magician's here. Because when we see the Emperor, he's already created what he's created. But I feel with him reversed here, it's now starting over. It's kind of coming to the point where you're going back to the basics. And you're seeing that when you had everything in terms of, like the Magician has here, he has the wand, the cup, the pentacle, and the sword. So he has all the tools necessary. And I feel, Libra, you have all the tools necessary maybe here, but it was to no avail. It didn't make you happy in the long run. It was ambition at its worst, I feel, in a sense, for you, Libra. But now it's okay, because we've released ourselves from that debilitation. We've released ourselves from that detrimental ambition. And now we're coming back to number one, the Magician here. We're regaining control over our lives. We are readjusting our perception. We are readjusting the way that we approach to things. And it all began with letting your pride go, letting your reputation go. The Emperor holds a high regard in terms of reputation. But sometimes the Emperor's wrong. And it's okay. It's all right. That's how we learn. That's how we prevent any future mistakes. But we must admit it. We have to put it out there. We have to trip over it, Libra. So we notice that it's in our way, or we know that it's in our way at that point. And we can keep tripping over it and tripping over it and tripping over it and tripping over it. And what good is that going to do? A dream without a goal is just a wish. And I feel as though, Libra, that's the space you were in. It was kind of a bunch of wishes to yourself, and it was just like, this is not working. We're not manifesting anything. And that was the first step, was letting go, Libra. And I feel as though here, too, solidifying my notion of over here as to what's going on. When we're so focused on what we want to do, and we're so focused on our power and what we reign over, when it maybe gets to our head a little bit, or it becomes that which we trip over that's in our way, you're coming back to now, what are your decisions, or what are your choices? I'm sorry, what are your choices now? You're ready to create, and you have, but now it's going to give you the choices. And I feel like maybe now you are at that fork in the road, but now I think you're a little bit more adept at choosing a path. You're more adept at choosing one of the choices, making it a decision, but it's in a more successful manner. You now see the bigger picture, and you're kind of like, okay, I think I'm going to choose this pentacle. You know, I'm going to choose this one, this one, this one, this one, whichever one it may be for you. I'm also picking up, I don't know why, like maybe this was a 7-year type of deal in terms of staying within this Emperor reversed energy and this Two of Swords energy. Well, it just goes to show us, Libra, that sometimes we gotta let go. And letting go shows unconditional love for ourselves, and also for other people if there's anyone else involved. But what's most important, Libra, here is we realize what type of energy this is and what it brings. The Queen of Wands reversed. This is the bitch, this is the berating, battering woman. I mean, it can be a male's energy as well, just someone who embodies that type of trait. Someone who uses their power over other people. This is someone who's very stubborn, and someone who only wants to do what they want to do. And instead of creating, Libra, when she's in reverse, the staff, there with the flowers on it, the flowers are at the bottom because it's upside down, So the flowers are destroyed. Flowers never grow. There's no creation. There is, well, let me take that back. There is creation. But it's creation that causes or brings about or incites destruction a little bit. That tends to happen. And then we end up closing ourselves off again. You see how it's a cycle? But it all started with just letting the pride go. Letting some of the reputation go. Saying, yeah, I was wrong. I didn't know what I was doing. It's okay, Libra, we're human. You're supposed to make mistakes. You're expected to. That's why God died for all of our sins. I'm sorry, Jesus died for all of our sins, and why we must now maybe bear the cross a little bit and put ourselves up there willingly to know that something better is going to come from it. Okay, we have the Devil card here. Could be dealing with a Capricorn, possibly. We have the Two of Wands here. Beautiful. Our shadow side, Libra, your shadow side, since Libra, it's Aries. And ironically enough, this is the card of Aries, the Emperor here, reversed. Sometimes you have to drop that Aries kind of vibe, and Aries kind of attitude, and Aries kind of disposition. And when we drop it, we start again. But we have to control that shadow side. And it begins with admitting certain things about it, and knowing and admitting that that shadow side is there and that it exists. Because it does. We all have it. But Aries can be very ambitious. But can be very ambitious to detriment or to a fault. But we're starting over, Libra, and it's okay. We're going to create something better. Which brings me over here with the Two of Wands. we're going to create something new now. And we're going to learn from our debilitating ambition. We're going to learn from how it can easily go astray or it can easily go left when we allow fire energy that's inappropriately displaced or inappropriately placed, and how it can really trap us, and how we can willingly keep ourselves in that trapped mindset or trapped environment, being closed off, when we do it to ourselves. But when we use all the tools that we have learned, that's when we become the magician. And that's when we change our outlook, we change our perspective, then we change our behavior, and we keep ourselves in the Eight of Swords moment, or in that headspace, or in that realm of rumination. And we learn from the release, right? And when we do heal from it, in terms of the release, and when we come to terms with it, that's when we become the magician. Because then we have all the tools necessary to move forward, and to move on, and to almost begin again, begin anew, but now much wiser person. A person that has more moderation, has more understanding of how things work. And with the magician comes a brand new change. And when we change certain things, we change the outlook, then we change the perspective, then we change the thought pattern, and then we change the behavior. And in turn, we also change our expectations, not just of ourselves, but of the people that are around us. And then we start to then understand that there are certain decisions that we need to make, and we then approach them in a different manner. And we let go of the bitterness, and then we kind of go back to the Two of Wands. There's no real method to it, but it's just it's how things work. It's how it should work. And with the shadow side here, or the Devil card, we need to be aware of this. And also, Libra coming into the reading with the Page of Swords reversed. This is an energy of someone who studies afar or from afar. It's someone who is very observant. And they also, their words cannot really be trusted sometimes, or their perspective, let me say, cannot really be trusted sometimes. Because it's the initiation of an understanding of communication. And what comes next, usually, if we don't change and we stay within the Page of Swords reverse type of energy, we reach the Ten of Swords here. And when this happens, we really have to look back and say, what happened? Where did it go wrong? What did I do? How did you contribute to this? Because now, when everyone else is gone, we're left to have to take all the swords out of our backs. But there is something at least favorable about the Ten of Swords, is that the worst has kind of come. Now it's time to build up from it. Time to be sort of like the magician again. It's a chance to start over, and it's a chance to learn from your mistakes and choosing the correct choice, or making the correct decision from the choices that are at the fore, or that are available to us or for us. And when we release these secrets, and when deception becomes indicated, but not just from the environment, when we're honest with ourselves and we're no longer hanging around and doing things inappropriately and looking at things in a premature manner and actually taking responsibility for our actions and the things that we portray, the things that we do, and what we create. Is when we make the correct decisions, when we're able to balance the feminine sides of us and the masculine side that's in all of us. You know, when we're able to do it, where, sorry guys, I just want to put this card here, where we don't, we can balance the Queen of Wands and the Emperor. Then they don't end up in reverse during our reading. Because one doesn't know what they're doing and the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. This is what happens when we don't learn from our mistakes, but it's okay because then we get the chance to admit it. I go by the saying, you know, you should be glad when it's your fault because you're given the chance to fix the situation. That's very spiritual way of maybe looking at something, or maybe just a very wise way of looking at a situation. But it cannot always be your fault. We can't always excuse repetitive behavior or perpetual behaviors that keep coming back, because then that means, you know, you're not working on it. But I can see that it's coming from, you're coming out of that period. But it was a weird adjustment. It was a weird moment. It was unexpected. I mean, if you want to keep pulling the Lover's card right here, you could be dealing with a Gemini or possibly with a Pisces. But even this card's great too as well, because the Lovers can be a decision as well, just kind of like the Two of Cups in a sense as well. The Lovers is more, can be a decision. You know, it's harmony. This is kind of more about on the love end with the Two of Cups, but it can be looked at as joining your feminine and masculine side. At least that's my interpretation, you know. But the Lovers can be a decision because we have to make harmonious decisions, and I feel, Libra, that this was a harmonious decision. It was just strange how it worked out like this. And if you think about it, I mean, the Lovers, yeah, it's number 6, but 2, the balance. You see the balance? That's what it's all about. It's about the balance. Sometimes it doesn't happen the way that we necessarily maybe want it to, but it always works out, and it will. Okay, Libra, let's go and pull a Jesus card. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. John 14:27. Yeah? That's pretty good, Libra. Because when we make the correct decisions and when we're willing to admit when we've fallen short or come short, the peace comes in, Libra. And along with peace is balance. And you're all about the balance. You know, a common misconception is that, you know, people think that Libras are very balanced. And we're not, you know, whether it's a Libra ascendant, whether it's a Libra sun, Libra moon, we are here when we have that astrological influence. We are here to learn the balance, to learn how to balance. And some of us don't achieve it. I don't think we really do achieve it. Even the Two of Wands, that's balance as well. There's a lot of twos here. And that's what it's all about, Libra. And it's coming. I want to say it's already come. It's surpassed it. It's not something to worry about, though. You know, don't worry about it. It's fine. I want to flip this over. There it is. Take therefore no thought for the morrow, for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Matthew 6:34. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's exactly the way I was going is, let's not worry about it. It's going to transpire the way that it does. Okay, Libra, go ahead and check out Matthew 6 and John 14. Pretty sure there's going to be something in there for you. All right, Libra, we'll leave you with that. Remember, it's all about the balance, but you know that. Things happen for a reason as well, okay? All right, Libra, glad to see you're out of the Eight of Swords. We'll see you next month.